everybody. Welcome to stream. Sorry I was a bit late and there's stuff I have to do. But I'm here now. So hello everybody. Welcome to stream. Huge news. New animation has dropped. And the Kofi has dropped. Huge news for people who want to give me $5. But welcome everyone. Today we are doing the malevolent Kofi command. I'm gonna hurt some. Okay, I'm adding it right now. Okay, Kofi. Chatbot. Okay, chat commands. Custom command, add new command. Kofi. Is it Kofi or is it coffee? I swear, man, because I know this whole thing is like, it's supposed to be coffee. But it looks like it'd be pronounced Kofi. Whatever, man. Alright. There's your freaking Kofi animation. Or whatever. Alright, let's do the redline stream. When I made that post, I was like, what do I do if like no one responds? What do I do if I make that tweet and nobody responds? Literally, what do I do that whole thing? Alright, fellas. Okay. First things first, I will say, I'm not gonna go redline every single one because I'm not a pro artist. So like, there are some things where I literally cannot tell if there's anything bad with it and it just looks good to me. Not to say that if I do redline your stuff, I think it's bad. Just to say, there's some people submitting the Mona Lisa, and there's only so much I can say as an amateur artist. Does that make sense? Oh well, hope it does. Okay, let's go through. I'm gonna try and, okay, I immediately got flashbanged by some disgusting emoji that Demelli replied to me with. So, very interesting. There's that. Okay, so let's go start redlining. Okay, I'm looking through and I'm judging all of you because I'm so full of hatred and malice. I'm so angry all the time. Alright. First crumb, first serve. No, it's small. I have to do the whole thing. Oh, I have to do the whole thing. That's so annoying. Okay. This one. Whoa, why did I laugh? That was mean. I wasn't laughing because... Sorry, I just laughed. Sorry. Please, nobody freak out when I redline their stuff. Please. Okay. First things first. The bed. And this part. You have already drawn the line of where the bed is. But the fold is above it. And it makes it kind of look like it's floating there, which isn't really the best thing. It's okay though, but it's not the best thing. Just be aware that if you're intending for it to be kind of like this, you gotta move the line up to the point where it starts to curve. You gotta move down the fold so it fits the bed more. Second of all, with this dress, since she is sitting, it should be more puffed out. If it's going down directly like that, that is like what you would see if you were standing, I feel like. Does that crumb make sense? Beds make me want to die, I get it. You should just kind of remember that the legs are going out. they're facing out. It will just try to give it more 3D space, so it does not look like she is kind of just sitting in front of the bag. You could also add some wrinkles, so it looks like she is more there. OMG, green bed like Minecraft. That's true, that's true. I draw dresses like I've never seen them in my life. Yeah, that's usually what happens when you draw something you're not very good at for the first time. That was me with hats for the longest time. That was legit me with hats for the longest time. I would also recommend moving her up more, just so it doesn't look like her butt is like falling off the edge. Drawing hats sucks? Oh my god, have you ever tried to draw a cowboy hat before? Oh, sorry, I don't mean to draw a cowboy hat on your stuff. But have you ever tried to draw a cowboy hat before? It's actually the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. I hate drawing hats. It's actually like insufferable. I'd also recommend giving more space for the shoulder. Instead of having it like this, you can have it lead from the neck. And for the face, I see you're trying to like have it be looking down. I would recommend having the nose lower too, just so it looks more natural. You got to remember. And for the lighting, there's a light source coming from here, but I think it would be nice. You don't have to. If there was more lighting that shows that it's going past this guy. And then you can have their shadow blocking the way. Because the light is good, but it has to affect more than just this character. Alright. That sucked low-key. Whatever. Not your art! I'm just not very good at giving advice. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean the art! Don't wow me! Don't wow me! I'm just not good at giving advice. Please. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Alright. This one. I don't know if these people are even in my chat. Huge news for Ethan fans, though. Huge news for Ethan fans. Alright. First things first. Me personally, I don't really do painting stuff. So I can't really help with shading and stuff, but I'm gonna help with shading. It's probably not gonna be good. You see the hair that you are giving him? The hair that you are giving him, you should really block it out more. You see how everything kind of blends in too much? It makes everything look too blocky. I think it's better to emphasize some of the strands. That also helps because you can tell what's going on, and it'll give more shape to the hair. And drawing Ethan's hair is like really hard to do, so it'd probably be best to define it more. I do not think it is good. I'm not a personal fan of shading hair like that, where it is very, very blocked, and it just seems like you put little itty bitty tiny lines. Because I feel like instead of doing stuff like this, it goes a lot more to like block out the bigger shapes and work from there. Isn't drawing anyone's hair hard? Yes. This is why I am helping, I think. Okay, so I really recommend blocking out the hair more. Not to say change your whole style, because your style seems to be more realistic, but just try to imagine it blocked out more. Focus on the bigger shapes and then work down to the littler shapes, like flyaway strands or stuff like that you have added here. But the problem with the flyaway strands with this style is that everything looks very, very small, very, very merged together. So it does not really have the same effect. And this is just because I'm an Ethan fan. This isn't even like... I guess this is just Ethan information. But... his cheeks are bigger, his nose is a little more curved like this. He has a small chin, but it does jut out a lot. He has a very defined jawline, but it's also very soft. And also, his hair kind of has a bigger puff on the top, but he has a very big forehead. Okay? So, what I would do, but I don't do painting, so I can't really give you good enough information. I would say, for parts here, like at his chin, because of the way his chin is, you can add the defined part, but you can also like blend some parts. Just look at photos of him. I don't know, man. Do you have a picture of him that you study when you wake up or what? I have it like engraved in my brain at this point. Also, I do really like the style you're going for here. Like, I like how you have like the broken glass, but I think you could make it stand out better if you either made this more red, but not red as in just this, but with like a red filter, which is kind of what it looks like happened. It looks like it's just like overlay or something on top of the original one. I think you should practice with colors. Just being able to do different color palettes. A good method for that is starting out with the white you want to use. Bro, where's my pen? Oh, I'm still in overlay. Start with the white that you want to use and then base all of your other colors off of it. For his cheek, just in general, with cheeks in general, not Ethan specifically, try and have it like jut out more, because I do know some people have slimmer faces, but just in general, and make sure you have that divot for the eye. Make sure to show it more. Instead of it kind of being like that, it goes in curves on both sides. For his chin as well, at the angle he is at, I think his chin should jut out a little. And I think you should move his eyes up more. And maybe make his ear a little bigger. I think it would be very helpful. With the angle of his eyes, it is hard to tell. Just because a piece of it is missing. Well, obviously it is. That's part of the drawing. But, you know, so it's just hard to kind of view it for now. But I would say, because you're kind of having him facing at a 3/4 angle, don't have his eye facing like that. It'd be good to have it be facing more out because he's turning to the side. Just remember that the eyes go in a little. Think of a little almond shape. It'll change depending on the angle you look at. You should take reference photos of your own face. I think that would be good probably. Give him his classic handlebar mustache. I think that counts as graffitiing someone's art. And that's mean and not what I'm here to do. I'd say move his forehead in a little as well. And yeah. Try to make sure that you block out bigger shapes first. And instead of like doing this and then going over it and stuff, try and do a sketch with all the details first and then paint over or under it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It probably doesn't. One last thing. I think you should probably lower the clothes because it's kind of climbing up his neck too far. Just remember, just when you draw something, if you make a sketch, I always recommend draw the entire body first. Do not draw the clothes. Draw the entire body and then draw the clothes over it. It'll help you set everything up more. I feel like a lot of artists do that, where they'll just, especially in drawings where it's like multiple people in it, where they will like draw the people overlapping because they're interacting, but it ends up making the proportions not very good. Try drawing everything together and try shading more and giving it more contrast. Okay, this one, I'm gonna be honest, I cannot tell if it was a 3/4 view or a side profile. I'm going to assume it's a side profile. Okay, what color would be good for this? Red, white, red. We have to do red because it's called redlining. I have been using orange the entire time though. So there is that. Okay, this is another problem with the drawing the clothes and not the body underneath. Because if we follow where this arm is going and where this elbow is coming from, you guys are starting to see the problem, right? So, what I would recommend, you should really practice drawing the bodies first and drawing clothes after. And it's also more fun that way because it's kind of like you're dressing up a doll. So, just imagine drawing the entire body first with the hands. And for the hands, I also recommend trying to block it out more so it has more space and more shapes instead of it being kind of flat. Unless that is the style you want, but I do think you can keep the very simple cartoon style without having it. I don't know how to describe it because I do know some people are like, oh, that's just my style. It's supposed to look like that. But I feel like proportions are still important, even with cartoony styles. So, next time I recommend drawing the body first so you do not have to run into this situation with the arms. Have them splay out more. I would say maybe disconnect this part just so it looks like it's more connected to the actual sweater instead of just like entirely disconnected. Because I also used to draw with that style where the forearm is completely disconnected, but I do think it would be better to do that. Okay, so I'm assuming you were trying to do a side profile. With this specific pose, with how her body is facing right now, I don't think it is very natural. I think that if you wanted her to be doing the side profile, you should turn the body a little more, just so that she is like at a reasonable angle to be doing that pose naturally. Because I mean, you could do that pose normally, but it probably wouldn't feel nice. Alright, and for the side profile, try using a base. And just keep in mind that the nose and the mouth will stick out more. So, like the most simple base that I feel like most artists use, crumb is most artists, is a circle. And what you want to do, put a line in front of it like that. Whatever. And then you can make your side profile off of this. Just so that this guideline kind of helps you make sure that you aren't going like into it like that. Just know that with this line, this is the baseline, you will not pass it. So when you can draw the side profile, you can do it a lot easier following this guideline. Where are you getting the art? I'm getting it from a Twitter post I made on my alt account. Because if you look here, it's going in like that. So if you don't want that to be a problem, I recommend doing this. And I will say, you need to make sure that the neck is connecting around this area with the ear. Otherwise, it looks more like a doll with her head screwed on. You have to make sure that it is connecting more. Just a good reference point, use around the ear to put the neck. And obviously making the neck bigger will change the proportions and stuff, and you should like change the proportions based on that. But I do know that this is good, but you could use a lot of improvement. Sorry, the hair's throwing me off a little. Yeah, it's fine. Noses are fun to draw. Yes, but they can be a huge pain in the butt to draw. So if you had like a reference, just like example, if you didn't even draw a nose, this would be like bare minimum of having it so that it's flat here, so it does not start caving in. Just try and use this reference with the circle and the line to draw side profiles. It'll help you a lot, I promise. It'll be very good for your eye. Other than that, I think it's nice. You could add more motion with the hair for a nicer silhouette. Cause she is diagonal after all. You could be adding stuff where it's like moving more like that. Not that you have to, but it could make it look nicer. Just for the silhouette and stuff to add more movement in it. Crumb speedrunning art advice. I'm just not good at it. Just started barking, I hate side profiles. Okay, dude, it's never that serious. You'll be fine. You will be okay, I promise you. You're okay, we understand. It's just gonna be me doing art review, but I'm just apologizing the entire time. Okay, this is another thing, like we said with the Ethan drawing, with the hair. I do think you did add, can you do ravioli? Literally, what would I do? Literally, what would I do? Be serious. Be serious. Lock in. Say it to my face. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. LOL. Okay. This is the same problem as the Ethan drawing. You need to add more details, I feel like. Otherwise, it feels like a fluffy pillow. It feels like a fluffy pillow, which isn't the best, unless these are supposed to be something else. These also could be wings, I cannot tell. But, I'm very sorry to do this, but I do think she should shave. Just because hair doesn't naturally poke out that much, I do think it is very cute for the stylizing of making it very big and fluffy. But these can still be very big and fluffy, but also look more realistic and more hair-like. Because ponytails do not jet out that much. Turning into Hatsune Miku. I'm sorry I'm turning a character into Hatsune Miku. But I do think it would be a lot better. For this is very cute. I really like the little horns. But I do think you are kind of using it more as an accessory. If you wanted them to be more a part of her, where it looks like it's actually going out of her head, you gotta make it interact with her hair. So it actually looks like it's growing out of it. Because right now they just are layered on top. Like you can see her hair underneath here. So you gotta move things around. Just if you want it to look like it's actually part of her. And not just like a keychain that was clipped onto her head. Which sounds really horrible now that I'm thinking about it. So, I would say try and have it interact more, where the hair is moving out of the way. Maybe there's hair going in between the horns and stuff. But just remember that her head would probably be around here. So this horn would be hanging off by a thread. Probably just move the horns a little to the side and draw the horns with the head before you draw the hair, instead of adding it on afterwards. I think that would be a good method. And for her body, I do think her shoulders are a little broad. Coming from someone with very broad shoulders, I'm not sure if that was what you were going for. If you do want to give her very broad shoulders, go for it. Do this. But I do think her torso should be a little smaller. And the arms should be going in a little more. Just because I do not think shoulders are typically that long. Unless I am wrong, then you can send me a big photo of you flipping me off. As per usual. Alright, and for the body, I would also recommend kind of moving it over. I would say add a little gap here, just because, first of all, it'll help you read the position and pose easier. And I would also say to move over the bottom. Just because if you flip it, it looks a little uneven, like a little bit too much to the side. I feel like flipping the canvas can be very useful. I'm not trying to make her thinner, I'm just trying to move her over. I'm trying to just slide her to the right, just a little. But it is very cute. It is a very cute drawing. Again, I do really like the stylization of her huge pigtails and stuff. It is very cute. But I think you should do it to an extent. Otherwise, it stops looking like hair. Or you could do it, but if you do, you'd probably have to add a lot more details of where the hair is like coming from and how it falls down and stuff. Otherwise, it'll look like the pillow, and that is not something we want. We do not want the pillow. Gotta flip my canvas more, not gonna lie, I always forget. It's okay. After a while, it starts becoming something that is a lot more easy to remember. Just if you ever think your art looks a little off, then you should probably flip the canvas and it'll fix it. We eventually do a pixel art stream. I've never done pixel art before. And I don't think I would do good. That's a lie. I have done pixel art. I've done it multiple times, actually. LOL, I was lying to you guys. Okay. This is very cute. This is a very cute character. But the whole floating in space thing, I think you should give your character a little more freedom. Does that make sense? I think it would be better. Also, this character, does not happen to be looking at the helmet, which is teensy bit of a problem. Not the biggest deal, but like, you know. I feel like you intended for them to be looking at it. So I would just say, always double check to make sure the eyes are in the right place, because I always do that too. And instead of the pose being so closed, I think it would really help the illusion of floating in space if the body was a lot more spread out. Because with the pose you have right now, it kind of just looks like they're sitting. Which is okay if you like that, but I do think it would also be good if you exploit a little more with poses. She's gonna die. Well, maybe the guy should have put their helmet on tighter. I feel like a good thing for poses, or at least something that I do a lot, I always like to just draw the pose very simple first, because it blocks it out a lot easier. Same with this hand. I think just adding a lot more bends to the limbs would probably be very good for it. Just so it does not look so stiff. Cause you're floating around. Imagine swimming in a pool. You're floating and stuff, aren't you? You don't wanna just... You don't see people swimming like this. And if you do, that's kind of scary. What account is it that you're getting this from? My Twitter account, Cup Toast. It's like Cup Toast, but with like 2 at the end. It's very creative, and everyone pretty much thinks I am the greatest person ever. Wait, I'm floated? Wait, I'm literally floated right now? Same with the tail. I think it'd be good if the tail was a little more curvy. I don't swim, I just float face down. I think that's called drowning, no offense. But yeah, just try and give the pose more movement. Otherwise, it looks a little too stiff. This looks more like she is floating. I think exploring more with your poses would help a lot with the art. And just help it so it's not as stiff. I will also add the torso is just a little droop. Let people swim how they want, man. I didn't know that you guys had such offense to this. So sorry. I really think that adding more sharp edges in the drawing is a lot better. Instead of it all being curves, try getting more points and stuff. I think it will be nice. High five up, what are you doing here? Go away, this is embarrassing. Don't go away, I didn't mean that. I care for you a lot as a friend. Okay, one last thing. I do think that the wrinkles do not really make sense. And I do not think they are present anywhere else in the drawing. I am big study art mood. High five up. We were actually just talking about you. Sorry, that was a lie. Who drew this art? Zenderman on Twitter. Oh. Sorry, I was being cruel and lying. I do think you can add wrinkles, but with a spacesuit specifically, I do not think spacesuits typically have open sleeves. And I am assuming what you wanted to draw is a spacesuit. Spacesuits are also very, very big. So I do not think it would be hugging the form like this. It would probably, realistically, be more like that with a lot bigger limbs. But I don't want to change your drawing too much just because I'm like, oh, well, actually, that's not what astronaut suits really look like. So I'm just gonna help you with what you already have. No red lines, I'm being lied to. Yeah, my fault. So, I would recommend, I think it would be good to give more detail to the suit. Not as in you have to draw super intense detailed things and know exactly what a spacesuit looks like. Crumb doesn't even know what a spacesuit looks like. Nobody knows what a spacesuit looks like. That's a lie. People do, but I don't. But I think adding more detail would probably look a lot nicer. And it would look a lot less like a pajama. Unless you were going for the pajama aesthetic, which is cool. Spacesuits are not real. I totally forgot. My fault, OG. I do think it's a very cute drawing though. But yeah, just moving the poses a little bit more. I do think that in the original one, the arms are a bit long compared to the legs. Because if she put her arm down, I think it'd be going down to like, probably her kneecap or like mid-thigh. So I would recommend practicing more with your proportions. It'll probably be very helpful. Just making her legs a little more big. Like that. I always recommend use the lasso tool to kind of use liquefy or like rotate things around just to like see things better in your sketch. I think it's very good. People consider liquefy cheating. Isn't that nuts? Bro, I use that thing like every single freaking day. I abuse lasso and liquefy. Okay, I think it is good to use for help, but I don't think you should use it too much. Otherwise, you may become a little too dependent on it. Okay, so this is the before and this is the after. It's a very cute drawing. I think it is a very cute concept. But there is improvement to be made. I do think it's very cute though. It is a very cute idea. Okay, new one. I should find out what liquefy does. Have you not used liquefy before? That's nuts. I can just show you right now. Instead. We got the stuff out, so we might as well. I use Sai. I don't know if it even exists. Okay, it might not. I will be honest. It's just... I don't know how to describe it. I really just have to show you. Do I want to liquefy someone's drawing though? I feel like that's rude. Surely not. What is Sai? It is another art program. You can liquefy mine. I cast liquefy art. Oh, this is cute. Okay. I feel like these two look a little weird anatomically. Okay. Here we go. No, I'm not gonna... Okay. This is liquefy, by the way. You just get to, like, poke around your drawing, basically. It's very helpful for when you want to, like, add tweaks to things without redrawing it entirely. Okay. First things first. This soda can is huge. I feel like that's, like, more soup can sized. But it is not even a big deal. Just something that we can just copy and then shrink down a little. Coca-Cola soup. So I would just move it down and shrink it just a little. I feel like it's a little stubby too. I would stretch it out just a little more. Like that. And for his hand, I do think your problem with the anatomy here is because the way he is holding it is very unnatural. If you were holding a can, I feel like if you're holding it at this specific bend in the arm where it's this close to your body, I think his hand should be facing forward more. I think it would help a lot and make it look more natural. Because you can hold the can like that, but it would be a lot further away from the body. Like for example, yours is more like this. It's closer, it's kind of overlapping. Holding a can like that, it just looks awkward because you would have to twist your wrist in a really uncomfortable way. So I would say try and do it where it's more facing forward. Hold on. Sorry, Crumb didn't really sketch anything out for this. Nah, bro, they're just Italian. Just try to have the hand face forward more. Like, hold on. This is can. This is your hand, like that. I do not know how badly I want to fix an entire thing and draw an entirely new hand. I will be crumb honest. I've been trying to do most of these poses. Well, this is probably the worst thing you could watch. I do think, just for poses like this, whenever you're having trouble with a pose, just take a photo of yourself doing that exact pose. Like, I promise it'll help a lot. The face is super cute. Yes, the drawing is so cute. It reminds me of a specific character that I did not want to say. Just because I think that would be rude. So I will just say that I thought it in my head. Now I'm curious. Well, it would be rude. So I'm not gonna say it. What's the artist of this one? Crow. Bro, I'm sweating so much right now for no reason. What the heck? Why am I sweating so much? Dude, what if I just got a fever? That'd be nuts. I did a Dio pose for a drawing once and like my entire back popped. It was an experience. Crumb Pup Toast is so talented at standing diagonally. You're sick toast. Hello? What did I do? Why are you saying that like you're mad at me? Our teacher getting drenched? That's nuts! Do not call me your art teacher, and do not describe me as getting drenched. Alright. This character is really cute though. So cute. They're sweating gallons. Chat is a bit funky today. I feel like there's always one person in my stream who's like, whoa, chat's so weird today. And chat is acting like perfectly normal the way they always act. You guys are always like this. Be serious. You guys are the weirdos here. Oh, crumb, do crumb. That's crumb version of Okie Dokie. Another Ethan art. Huge news. Okay. First things first. It is another thing with the disconnected body. I think it would really be good if the paw was still attached to the backhand. It just makes it look more natural. And the classic gun, where everyone always messes up. It's okay, it is always a pain. When drawing the gun, I do think it would be very helpful if you drew the gun out of his hand. Draw the entire gun first. That way you can make sure it's straight, it's like the right proportions, stuff like this. I'm gonna try and draw how you draw the gun in your style. Just draw the entire gun and then you can kind of move it around and reposition it and stuff. That way you do not end up with the line art, with a curved gun. and stuff like that, because you can tell that it was more of just part of the line art instead of like actually sketched out. For the clothes, you have added wrinkles, but you have not added the stripes to be moving with the wrinkles. They are kind of just there. Kind of like a chowder episode. Which can work sometimes. But I think specifically for this sort of drawing, you should follow the wrinkles that you have given yourself. And the wrinkles you have given yourself, I do think they are a little out of place. It is a little just in there. Does that make sense? It is like you drew the clothes and you kind of just added lines in random places to be the wrinkles. Because of how his arm is, and especially this area where he has like folds and it's rolled up, this is where some wrinkles would be. Crumb isn't the best at drawing wrinkles either. I do not do them well, but I do recommend using at least vaguely the same size of line art. Because if you have a drawing with line art like this, and you all of a sudden start adding little details that are very, very small line art, like stuff like this, if you added wrinkles that were very, very thin, it will start looking a little too out of place. Try to be more consistent with your art. I think it could help a lot. And I do think there's stuff like this that is little details that it's like obviously it kind of is a pain in the butt to be giving line art. But I think, again, with the consistency, you should make sure that everything has similar line art to the rest of the drawing. Otherwise, it will either not go well, either because it does not have enough contrast, or it'll stick out too much because it is too different. I do think it would be very crumb helpful if you did more of the line art that was consistent. Drawing wrinkles feels like pure guesswork. Yeah, pretty much. I would say maybe disconnect this. Just because I don't think the angle he is standing at really needs that. You can add his torso, but I do not think it should be completely disconnected. What else? A lot of it is very stylized, so I do not really know. I think most of the proportions are fine, to be honest. It is very cute. But again, try and have consistent line art. If you try and add little details, try and make sure that they have a little more contrast. Just so they are noticeable. Because I did not even notice those until I zoomed in just now. $70 Ethan Founders. Oh yeah, look, wait, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Just try and make sure that the colors and patterns you use are different enough. It would be... Oh, that's his tail! Oh my gosh. Crumb did not notice that. Oh my gosh, I did not... Oopsies. Okay. For his tail as well, if you want Lucas to be a freak holding it, which I can honestly see him doing, I do think you should probably give it more shape and move Lucas accordingly. Because I think you have given his tail way too much space. And it looks a bit too unnatural considering how small he is in comparison. It is very cute though. I love you, furry bakers. So adorable. Also, just as a little thing, part braids do not typically look like that. Imagine a straight line, and then it can have the little bump in between. That is all. I'm sitting. Dude, doing art is so freaking hard. Alright. Huge news for more Ethan fans. Alright. It's time for Ethan. It's time for Crumb to Ethanify this Ethan drawing. Alright. First things first. His forehead. What's this hair doing blocking all of that beautiful forehead I love? Nuh-uh. Ethan's hair? I thought that said shave. I have to shave! Give him his big, beautiful forehead. I would say, too, in this drawing, you can see that the hair is touching his eye. Which isn't a problem when you have, like, hair that is, like, overhanging like this. But I think this is supposed to be the side of his head. So, I would just keep in mind that you should draw his head first. His entire head. No hair. No hair. And then you can add his hair afterwards. The little piece that goes in. Emo thin. Like Ethan v. Emo. He deserves it. Ethan has a very big forehead. This is the tragedy that most Ethan artists have to go through of not knowing how to draw his hair. Number 1, look up Shira Adora. And then draw her hair but without a ponytail. That is my advice for drawing Ethan's hair. And I will always stand by it. We basically just gave this guy a haircut. I have to shave Rose. I do know that big hair tufts is also a part of a style though. So I will draw his hair with the similar style, where he still gets to keep his big puffs. But it's just a little more accurate. I feel like a problem a lot of beginner artists have is that like every single one of their characters, whenever they draw their hair, they have to have bangs. And I'm telling you now, they do not have to have bangs. Sometimes it's okay for them to have a weird poof on top of their head. I need to give bangs to Bobby's basics. Shave all of your OCs right now. So here you go. He can still keep all of his big hair tufts, but he still looks just a little more Ethan-y, which is what we wanted. Sometimes it's okay to give male pattern baldness to your OCs. Suddenly made a connection between Wintersburg and Castrador. No! You're just saying things! You're just saying things now! Okay, I have to speak up. I'm so sorry. Crumb does not like Castrador. I'm sorry, I don't think it was written well. I low-key don't like Catra either. I'm sorry. I don't like Castradora. Like, I watch it and like, dude. I don't know, I feel like Catra was like too violent to like. She was too violent and didn't redeem herself enough. Okay. So this is with the edits. This is without the edits. It's basically like I just took his bangs and put them up. This is emo Ethan and 37-year-old Ethan. At a time, she destroyed the world bro and rushed their redemption. I don't think it was written well. And Catra don't... Dude, listen. I'm all for toxic Yuri. But there's a difference between toxic Yuri and badly written Yuri. You have to admit, I'm sorry. Thank you, Wilding Mango, for the gifted sub. It was very appreciated. Thank you, Ashclaw, for the tier 1. Thank you, Linkus, for the tier 1. Thank you, Dapper Dash, for the prime. Thank you, Prayer, for gifting us up to 5. And thank you, Muty Omega, for the tier 1. It was too toxic, y'all. Listen. Toga Chaka, I love those guys. Toga stabbed Ochako like 83 times. And hey, I think she was real for that. Not that I hate Ochako, but listen, man. They had to do it. Toga Chako goes too hard, bro. I reread that stuff like every day and I cry about it. Catra was low-key a bit too mean. No, she was a whole villain! And I know that's hypocritical saying I like Toga Chako, considering Toga was literally part of a squad called the League of Villains. But Catra was so mean. Like, she was a little too unapologetically cruel at some times. Oh, Waffly, thank you for the prime. Thank you, Brad, for gifting us up to Bonk. And thank you, Zoe, for the prime. Alright. Here's your brand new Ethan. I am now realizing all I did for this drawing was give him a haircut. What else can I do? His sweater is a bit too big. That is also a stylistic thing, but realistically, I do not think it should puff up too much. I do not think it should splay out like a flower either. And keep in mind, he is wearing the jacket over the sweater. So, it would be something more like this. You can have the sweater go up a little over it, but just keep that in mind. That is all. There you go. There's your brand new Ethan. Huge news for Ethan fans. Listen, I liked She-Ra. I just could not get on that Cachadora train, man. Okay. This is so cute. I love it. Alright, first things first. I do think that the silhouette in the pose can have a little more... I'm confused. Wait, is that a tail? That's a tail. Okay. I got a little confused for a second, but we're back on track. Owie, the colors hurt my head. Maybe we can fuck her in. Hold on, fellas. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, that just looks rude, but give me a second. There you go. Desaturated a little for your viewing pleasure. Okay. First things first, very creative, very cute. I do think it is possible to do words and have some of it get cut off, but in this specific case, I do not think it works well, just because of how much is being cut off. Like, you can't even see any part. Oh, there's a my! I didn't even see that! So, I would say, just try and fit the words in a little better. Like, you could do a lot of fun stuff just with, like, the letters. It's very fun to try and fit things around. But I do think it probably would be for the best if you included the entire word. It'd be a lot more readable. And I do recommend making this a little bigger, maybe. I would say maybe you could go for a more dynamic pose You could put the head a little bit further away from the body. You could put the mai in the middle, in that extra space you give yourself. And for the head, I think it would be good. I think it would be nice if it was just a little more motion to it. Instead of it kind of just looking a little awkward. Same thing with the person who did the hour story. Oh geez, you are very, very right. But it's just the same thing with the person who did their puff. I think it'd help a lot if you had it a little more tilted instead of it being so very perfectly shaped. I think it would help a lot if you added movement to the hair. So the stuff here, I think it would be pretty good if you could add more movement to it like that. So it looks like you actually just lost it. It's like flying off. I think it would be very helpful. I think it would look very cute. It would help a lot for the motions, just to make it look like it is actually falling off. Breaking, Chrome hates saturated colors. Hey, saturated colors are nice. I just don't want to destroy all of my chatter's eyes. Is that too much to ask for? Just try and add more motion to it. It would probably look nicer. Same with the ears. You can even add the motion with the ears. Kind of just flying to the side a little. Just so things do not look as stiff. For the hands, I wish I could tilt this thing. I wish I could tilt it. But I can't without moving the entire thing. Can I merge it? Fellas, we did it. Huge news, huge news. Okay, there you go. We need to normalize staying at the sun for 12 hours. Very interesting. I'm glad to see how smart my chat is. No, I have to merge it? Bummer. No, I don't. Don't let the big man in the sky tell you what to do. There we go. You can see the saturation peeking out underneath. But I do think just try to add more motion to it. For the body looks less like it's chasing after it and more like it's about to kick it away like a soccer ball. Which is a little bit of a problem if that is not what you were going for, which I am assuming is not. I think it would be good to have the hands kind of more outstretched. There's not a lot of space to do this, which is why I think you should have... It would be very helpful to kind of give... What's the word? More space between the body and the head. But I think having the hands outstretched would help a lot. Just so it looks more like he's reaching for it. Just a little more. Panic kick. Oh my god. I've panic kicked things before and it sucks. There's a cockroach that like jumped out and I kicked it and I slammed it against the wall with my foot. And it splattered all over me. Based. No, actually. Ew? Yes, it was ew. Do not panic kick. It does not end well most of the time. Here we go. I'm gonna keep the same style you have for the hands. Here you go. Splat like a water balloon. How did you manage to give us such a horrific death on accident? Listen, man, it's hard to be crumb cup toast. I would give more movement to the leg as well. The way it is right now, it looks less like he is running and more like it's just someone standing still and doing this. Like when you're in PE and they're like, put one leg up. Which, first of all, why did they make you do that? What did that accomplish? Okay, everyone, stand on one leg. Like, okay. I'm sure I'm getting lots of exercise from this. I'd say move the leg in more. And move this leg out. Just a little more. Just to help with the movement so it actually looks like this person was chasing the head. And you could add the little leg from the other side, poking out a bit. And I do know you have the tail, so you would have to account for that space. So here's your little tail. Again, if there was more space on the canvas, you could give it more action. I do think it would help a lot. And for the wrinkles, I did end up drawing over most of the ones that you did. But I could see that in the original drawing, it looked a little... what's the way? A lot of your wrinkles were kind of just drawn like this, which makes it look like you were very muscly, yet wearing extremely baggy clothes at the same time. To help fix that, I would just say instead of just adding it in the middle of the drawing like this, try and have it connect from the outside. Again, Crumb isn't good at wrinkles either, but I do think it'll help look just a little better. I'm gonna try and mimic your style again, as I did previously. But here you go. You can be chasing the little head, running after it. I do think it is very helpful to add more space. Instead of limiting yourself to like very small canvas space, I think it would be good to draw on a very big canvas. And then you can crop from there. Not that I'm biased and draw on a very big canvas and crop from there, but I do think it would be very helpful. Again, you can add more movement with the little things, like the little sweater stuff and things like that. And here we go. There is just the tiniest bit of extra space now for some more words. It is very hard to fit it in, but I do think you should try and give the words more space, especially if you want focus on it, which I am assuming you wanted. It was a very cute drawing though. Okay, this is with the edits. This is without the edits. I think you could just improve along with the poses just to make it look a little more excited for the action. Here you go. Is me turning up the unsaturated version like a flashbang? That really looks like he's just kicking his head. It looks like he's just slamming it up. Oh my goodness. Okay. Huge news for Ethan fans. The ever so classic Ethan with bangs. We all experienced this. First things first. It does not look like he is holding his baby. It looks like she is crawling up him and he is standing there like a pole. So, to fix that, keep in mind that babies, if you're holding a baby, I would know. Crumb is #1 baby holder. It will be at around the chest area. Just keep that in mind. Dear God, she's on the list. Oh, now they're infesting him! No, Ethan. No, you have to fight! You have to fight, Ethan! Crumb's iconic baby that it holds! You know me. I kind of iconically hold babies. That's pretty much my thing. Okay. Also, he is not looking at her. Well, if we erase one eye, he is looking at her. But if you erase this eye, he is most definitely not looking at her. You have given him a bit of the cross-eye stare. But that is okay. We can move it just a little. Again, with the neck, I think it would probably be helpful to either make the neck a little more bigger, or at least move his head a little bit up. So romantic. His torso compared to his body.
Yeah.
His torso compared to his head is also very small. So I think it would probably be for the best if you expanded it just a little. That way you can also give him space for his arms, and it can look more natural as well. You did give him his iconic move. You did give him his iconic move. Thank you, thank you. So let's give her the rest of her head. Just keep in mind that he should, if he was holding her, he gotta have his arms up. It would... Typically, when people hold babies, they use their arms. My mom personally, well, let's just say she got creative. But most people use their arms. So just very simple. This isn't perfect anatomy, but just as a quick sketch. What does that mean? We can tell. There we go. There we go. Very cute baby, so cute baby. You can have him hold her as well. Don't forget the hand. This is barely an excuse for a hand, but you know what I mean. Gotta give her the rest of her body. Rosemary also happens to not be looking at her dad, which is not the biggest problem. She doesn't have to look at her dad. But I do think she should, considering there's nothing else she can really look at. And it looks just a little bit awkward. Just a little bit. Ethan's iconic oven mitts. I think it would be for the best if he just had his arms up more. It'd be easier to see and stuff. Let's make his neck a little bit bigger. He's a 37-year-old man. He has a thick neck. And let's have Rosemary. This low-key looks like the Mona Lisa. What? What are you on, bro? Now she can look at her papa. And then he... You know it's time for... Oh yeah. Haircut time, Ethan. Ethan's iconic huge forehead. Ethan's iconic huge forehead. Ethan's iconic huge forehead. She looks so smug. She's so evil. Cutting his luscious locks. He looks like this! If you want to draw Ethan more realistically, follow this. If you want to keep drawing him with hair like this, that's also okay. But I'm just saying. It's not like I'm giving other characters haircuts. It's only Ethan because he's a character that already exists. Okay. Here's hair. Keep in mind, the hair you gave her, it was a little too... I don't know how to describe it. Just keep in mind, at the side of Ethan's head is this weird little shaped thingy. Just put that there, okay? Of course, we give him his weird Adora puff thingy. I'm gonna still try and draw his hair in a style similar to yours. So yes, he can still have a little bang, I guess. We should just do an Ethan stream where I just redline people's Ethans. I'm like 100% better at that. Can we just do that? Next time we're just doing that. Okay. Let's shave his hair down just a little. Just a little. He can still be fluffy. You can still have his fluffiness. It'll just be a little less fluffy, okay? Dude, I know for a fact if I do an Ethan stream, it's just gonna be me giving them haircuts for like 23 hours. And I'm okay with that. I'd want to do that even. Ethan after tea. We can give him your little mullet. He can keep his little mullet that you want to give him. My friend likes to give Ethan a mullet. I think it's cute. Here we go. We can keep this. We'll shave it down a little just so it's not as uneven, I guess. There we go. Classic Ethan. Okay, you're actually really good at drawing his hair? That's what happens when you have... I don't know, dude. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what I have. That's what happens when you have awesome disorder. There you go. His classic Ethan hair. There you go. What is this? Where am I? Is that skin? No, that's the fur. Okay, wait. If you want to give Ethan his furry jacket, I recommend not making it as similar to his skin tone. It can get a little confusing. Here you go. I've changed it to a lighter green. Ethan's iconic furry body part. His fur. Here we go. And for his sweater, I would say puff it out a little more so it looks less like a turtleneck and more like a hoodie. And then his iconic swoop down. And there we go. Here's your iconic Ethan with his iconic fluffy hair and eyebrows. This was with the edits. This is without the edits. We have fixed his eye and we have given him a meal to eat. Look at him. We have also brought Rosemary up, so she is no longer falling down. Here you go. Should I? No, okay. It's giving Mary holding Jesus. Wow, beautiful world we live in. Mary holding Jesus. this is true in the fact. Okay, looking through art. Aw, so cute. I really like the style on this one. Okay, first things first. I would say, I think just a little that the hairs may be a little too short. I don't know how to describe it, but just the area you put the hair like, the character kind of looks like they have very small head. Is this character holding a pickle or a sword? Both. Okay. I do really like the idea of them holding the sword. I think it's very cute. But the way the arms are positioned makes it look just a little awkward. I think it would be good to lift the forearm just a little. I know it's blocking the beautiful ruffles. I'm sorry. But sometimes decisions have to be made. So we are going to move. We are going to move the arm a little higher up. I think the shoulder to be hunched a little because you are holding a sword. Should be moved up just a little more. I think it would be good if you could show some of the other arm poking out behind this hand instead of it looking very close. The pose looks very closed off, like they are very scared to be holding the sword. Which is good if that's what you're going for. But I think the difference of holding a sword like this, very, very close, very, very closed off, versus holding the sword with a little more confidence. Bam! I'm ready to hit you. The ruffle down the middle is absolutely beautiful though. It is beautiful. And I feel like the face, I feel like the shading is a little too dark. It kind of makes it stand out a little too much. It is very good to have the very strong shading. It is not a bad thing, but just like from that, it just looks a bit too strong. So it kind of ends up sticking out a little too much. And not in a very good way. And I think the problem is that the shading is so strong, but it does not really apply to anywhere else in the drawing. Like with the hair is very not shaded compared to the face. Does that crumb make sense? And I think the neck is a little bit curving in a little too much. Or the hair is going over it. And if the hair is overlapping it, I think it would be good to be popping it out a little bit more. So it's more obvious that the hair is actually going over the neck. Just so it doesn't look like the hair is just behind it and the neck looks a little weird. My bones! Due to the lack of bumps, it's actually a cucumber, not a pickle. Yes, I also do not know what this is, to be honest. I think it's a part of the sword. I think it's a handle. I think. Maybe. It's not a pickle! Guys, it's not a pickle! Vine, maybe leaf. Guys, it's not a pickle. I don't know. For the hair, I think it would be very helpful. Because I know I said to block things out, but I think this is a good example of blocking it too much. where it ends up looking very stiff, like a piece of wood that got carved. I think it would help a lot to add some stuff like flyaway strands and things like that, just to make it have more of a hair look. I do really like the way you shaded the hair. It is very, very cute. Crumb is a big fan. But again, with the head, how the head is, I'm assuming it is something like this. With the hair, I think the hair would look a lot nicer if it was a bit puffier, because right now it looks a little small. At least on this specific head, and how big it already is. So you can just puff things out a little more. You can have the wonderful puffy hair, and honestly have fun with it. The joys of drawing puffy hair are things certain people cannot experience, such as Crumb Cup Toast, the one who is forced to draw 47-year-old man comb over every single day. Have fun with the hair. It is always nice to puff it out a little. And on this side too, I think it'd be nice for it to stick out a little as well, just from the angle of the face. Try to have things be less clumped together. It'll help a lot. It'll look very, very nice, I promise. Here we go. I'm just giving characters haircuts. How many times have I given a character a haircut? It's definitely been more than once. There we go. 17, probably 6. What else? Maybe move. I am so confused actually, what is happening. Okay, I think... Okay, I can't tell what is happening here, but I'm gonna move it over. Just so that the arm can be a little more to the side. It's not a pickle, guys! It's not a pickle! It's definitely not a pickle, I can assure you all. So many pickle truthers in chat. What the heck is happening? Something a pickle hater would say, yeah, I do hate pickles. I do hate pickles. Okay. This is without the edits. This is before. This is without the edits. This is with the edits. Just move the arms up a little so it looks less like they don't know how to hold a sword. Listen, Crumb personally doesn't know how to hold swords, but I don't think this is the way. And I think just with this in general, even if you do want it to be in a more relaxed pose, I think you should add at least like some arms sticking out, because I feel like without that, it's kind of a very, very long arm. Like, if we just kept following the arm, and there's no shoulder here, so it would be like that, which is a little bit very long, and a little bit very wide, with a very thin arm and a very thick, wide torso. I think if you did want to keep with this specific relaxed pose, you have to add the other arm. You have to add the upper part of the arm poking over, so you can see that it is more swinging over. And regardless of how relaxed they are holding the sword, I recommend adding the second arm, just so it doesn't look like it is floating there too much. So this is holding the sword with relaxed, and this is holding the sword not relaxed, also with a haircut. And not as bold shading. Very cute drawing. I give it a 10 out of 10. High fives to everyone in chat. High fives. Okay, now to find the next one. Water. Magical elixir that grows your hair. Okay. First things first. I hate Twitter compression, bro. The hands. I do believe that the knuckles are going in a little too much. I also believe that his hand is a bit too small, considering his head. And I am crumb version of under the assumption that ravioli, I think that guy was saying ew because I just toddler coughed onto everyone. I think the problem when people try to draw muscular characters is that they just make the head really, really big. But imagine it more as like, okay, so these guys have same size head. But this guy is skinny, feels very skinny. This guy is very buff, so his neck is just gonna grow, okay? And so will his shoulders. But his head doesn't get any bigger, okay? Unless this guy's like 6 feet tall and the other guy's like 5 feet tall. I think the head shape should stay relatively the same size. You just gotta move the body more and like make it a little bigger. I do know that a lot of people struggle with giving bigger necks though. So here you go, I do it for you. I am assuming he is supposed to be a bigger person, just because of how big his head was. His shoulder is a little unnatural. I'd lower it just a little. Just because this looks like it is supposed to be a very relaxed pose. Like they are sitting together. I think they should be comfortable in the pose that they are in. And I can see you tried to give him muscles. Crumb, I think you're becoming a barber for characters and knives. It's fun! I like giving people haircuts! I need to do an Ethan stream. I need to do a Rate Your Ethan stream. Oh my god, can I please do a Rate Your Ethan? Why am I asking you guys? I'm the streamer, hello? I need to do a Rate Your Ethan stream. I'm gonna do a Rate Your Ethan stream. For the arm, I think you should try and make it a little more consistent. Because I understand wanting to make the muscles bigger, but it is to an extent. I think you should make it less like a cone shape. I'll draw Ethan just for a review. I'll actually start tweaking if you draw Ethan. Please do that. For his arm as well, I think giving it a bit of a curve would be very helpful as well. Just because his clothes seem to be very tight-fitting. And the arms usually are not built like this. Try and give him space for his forearm like this. This is a good shape. If it's not, I'm sorry. You guys should not listen to me. Tweaking stream. Streamers just scream at the camera for 3 hours. It's an extra hour long because I hate you guys. He's red because he wants to kill you. I love that photo so much. It's so funny. Okay. His hand does look very awkward here. We haven't even done this guy yet. I'd say for this guy, what it looks like happened is you drew the big guy's pose first, and then you try to fit this guy into the space. And it did not exactly turn out anatomically accurate. I will say it is hard to do this position. I would say if you wanted to do it where he's like resting on the chest, you would probably have to do it where it's like, what's the word? Where it's like kind of resting and stuff. Like on the side. You have to be laying, because if you were sitting, you would have to be very, very small. And I am assuming that your character is not supposed to be that small. So having them rest and stuff and like looking up like that, that could also be a working position. Or they could be standing. You could make them stand and that would probably help. But just this position, you would either have to move this person up by a lot, and you would have to change the pose a lot from that. Or you would have to just find a different pose, because this will not work out, unfortunately. With 3 feet tall with shoes on. Look, they're multiplying. So if I move this guy up, and I'm going to delete here. It is a much more natural height for them to be in. And that way you can also be giving more space for the pose as well. And it won't look too, what's the word? Crumb pressed. What it looks like happened with this drawing is that you drew this guy's arms, the big guy's arms, holding this character, and then put the character in, which isn't the worst, but it will make it very, very difficult. Just because you kind of have to draw around it. This guy's like a puzzle piece right now. It's nuts. So if I were to give the recommendation of drawing this, or at least just like in the parts of sketching it out, I think it would be for the better if you drew them both separately on separate layers, and then you could do it. So this is big guy. He's sitting. Very good. And instead of drawing like this, and then trying to fit the red guy in, and drawing around the parts, just draw the red guy, like the entire body. I know it's like, oh, but that's like kind of wasting time, because some of it will not be showing. But you should do it anyways. It'll go a very long way. It'll go a crumb extremely long way. Crumb version of extremely. I'm shaving this guy down just a little. So this guy is sitting. It was very awesome. I've changed the puzzle a lot so I can move this guy. So now there's going to be a lot to change. See, and they're still looking at each other and they're still so happy. Another victim of Crumb's shaving. Victim! And you could do anything with this. You could have them hold each other and stuff. You can still have the very intimate pose, but you just need to move it around a little more. When you sketch it out, just try and use more references. I'm sure you could find like 100 references of this pose or something similar to it. Just Google sitting on people's lap. Actually, maybe don't Google that. Maybe just, I don't know. It is hard to find references sometimes, but it will very help you, like a lot, I promise. It is very worth it to look for references. So, they can still be holding each other. Very crumb romantic. Wow. I wish I was sitting... Okay, never mind. I do not wish for that. It can all be butter. I'm not shaving anyone's head. I'm only shaving their body parts. Which sounds worse, but it's not. But it's not a haircut. So you can change the pose just a little. To have it... How did your pants... Okay, they were that color. Just try and give it more space. This isn't the best pose. I'm just trying to do this quickly so I don't spend 1 million hours on one thing. But I do think it'd be best to just move things around. This is with the changes, this is without the changes. I just say shrink the head down, move the guy up. Make sure you sketch them both separately so it's not a little too awkward position. I will also add, for the legs here, first of all, the torso is very short. The hand is very big compared to the character. And this part, the legs are kind of weirdly shaped. Like this. And people do not have body like that. It is more like that. Just try and keep that in mind. You can still draw someone man-spreading, but it'll look more like this. Instead of something like a big flat line in the middle. Okay, changes, no changes. There you go. If you want to draw someone buff, do not inflate their head. Inflate their muscles. That is my crumb advice. Okay. I haven't done Bosco's. I just realized that. Probably because you don't deserve it. Can you edit the drawing in your DMs? Do you... Bro, I opened that! What is wrong with you? Shut up, bro. You're not even funny. I actually hate you. I actually legitimately hate you and hope something bad happens to you in life. So cute. So cute. Okay. First things first. This is the lineless style. So obviously, it will be very different. But I will try my best to help regardless. First of all, I do think you could work on the contrast in your art. It looks very cute. And thankfully, because of this spot, you can see that it is a separation from the tail. But if you happen not to have that, it would look a little bit weird. But the adding a spot there is very good. I do think, I know it's something you don't do in a lot of your art, but I do think adding shading would probably be very beneficial. I think it would make it look a little more, what's the word? It can just help a lot with detail and stuff. I think adding shading could be nice. And with her arms, they kind of blend in a little too much. I'm not really sure if that's any specific part of her body that is just colored that way, or if you did try to, what's the word? Change the color from the original one so it would pop out more. But I will say, I have also done some of the lineless art. When it overlaps, you can see his pants are white. His pants are white, but in this specific drawing, he's crouching. So I made them the slightly darker white. It's not the most consistent, but I feel like for your specific style, I think it would be good to do it. Even even if it looks a little more different, I think you should make it a little darker. I think it would help a lot. And just in general with lineless eye, it's always just helpful to like have a lot of silhouette. Have a lot of it sticking out. Because I could have him be walking with his arm crossing this way and that way. But then I would have to change the stuff. It is nice to have things pop out. But the way you're holding this, she is holding the muffin very close. She's built like a freaking flour sack. So it is hard to do. But I do love the lineless style. I think it's super cute. I think adding a little more detail would probably be very good. Like this detail you did with her mouth. Maybe you can use that to outline her eye and stuff. Give it just a little more contrast. And I know you still really like the pose. And it's hard to have any other pose, especially with how the character is built. So I really do think probably the best thing to do is just either make it darker or make it lighter. And making it lighter could work, but the problem is that you have the feet, which is the same color. So, I think if you just added a little more shading, you kind of practice more with values and stuff, it could end up really good. It could be very, very cute. Making the eye grayscale would probably help with contrast. Yes, that's what a lot of artists do. Hold on. I'll show you. So you see like that? If you look at it like this, like her arms are like almost blending into her body. Like everything else looks fine, but her arms are very, very similar. Because what happens is that you can change the tone, but it can still end up being the same thing. So I could make this like red, and it would stick out a lot more. But with that, it would still be the same. It'd be the same value. I think it could help a lot if you added shading underneath the arms and stuff. Or you would just have to try and find a different pose. Just because changing her arms too much might not be good enough. Because you can see here, I made his hand a darker color, but it still blends in a bit. Shading is the best bet? I think so too. I think you should just start adding more of it to your drawings. Stuff like this, you could even like make the back ear a little darker. I think it would be very cute. Just try doing your drawings and viewing them more in grayscale. I think that would help a lot. It'd be very, very helpful for lineless eye at least. And try giving a little more outlines. Not as in start putting lines in your lineless eye, but you know. Just, you could, since you already have this here, you could apply that to other places that may need it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, oopsies. My fault. Right on top. Oops, you guys gotta move. Okay, this one. I will be crumb honest, there is not the most to work with because it is a very big pose that takes up a majority of the screen. So I will do my best. First thing, his ear is humongous. This ear, if it was to be popped back up, it would go very, very, very high up. Way different from this one. And with the bend here, I do recommend making it not as sharp. I do understand that it is part of the style to have the very sharp edges and stuff. But I do think it would look a little bit better if it wasn't too emphasized. So it looks more like a fold and less like something else. I'd shave down the ear just a little. I see, I was wondering exactly what was putting me off about it. I think I'm all for exaggerating the movement, but I think that was just a little too much. It ends up looking a bit too unnatural. And the top of this ear is a lot wider. So it should look the same here as well. Try and keep consistency. And this part should be a little bit thinner, just because that's what the other one is doing. There we go. We're giving everyone haircuts today. Everyone deserves a haircut. So we'll move your ear down a little. Zoom not just out too much. There you go. For the face, I do think the turning around pose was very, very cute. But I think it's a little too much. To the point where the neck might be snapping just a little. So either I would recommend moving the face to the side more with like looking over the shoulder. Let's just say these are the glasses. So it's like almost basically on the verge of side profile. Because I really do not know if moving the head that much back is natural or would be comfortable enough. So if I were to be moving the head, I'd move it back a little more. If you want more emphasis on the face and you want to keep it like this, I would say move the body. So now the shoulder is here. The shoulder is here, but now everything's gonna move over. Everything will end up moving over now just for this. So we are going to have the sleeve, and it'll be coming from the side like this. Eating Oreo popcorn right now. You are not eating Oreo popcorn right now. Become jealous. Oreo popcorn sounds nasty. What are you on, bro? Okay. So remove that. And we got this. Oreo popcorn does not sound appetizing in the least, bro. First of all, I am Vegeta. Why did you say that? Hello? Okay. So we're gonna move all of that over. There we go. Looking more natural already. Move the hair. And again, this isn't really, like, important, but I do think it could add more to it if you added some more motion to the hair, maybe. More so it's like, it looks like they are turning around in the process of the turning around. I think it could look cute. Second of all, you're not Vegeta. I like that song. It's how I know how to pronounce Vegeta. However, I did pronounce that other guy's name like a go-getter. But I didn't know they were pronounced the same. And then, there we go. So now the shoulder is coming more from the side. And it looks just a little more natural. So cute. And now you have more space for fish or whatever. Yay! can add more fish. Okay. This is before, this is with the edit, this is without the edit. We can just move it over more. So the turning looks a little more natural. Just so it does not look like the neck snapped back a little like the exorcism. Just when you make a pose, just try doing it in real life and see if you can pull it off. So we have shortened the ear, rounded it out, turned the body a little, and that is good, I think. Here you go. Here's your outline of the mouth. There you go. Yay! Huge news. Huge news for people who are rabbits. They are part owl. Huge news for people who are part owl. Surely we do ravioli last. Bros, we're not doing ravioli. Legit, what would I even say? Draw Ethan maybe. Thank you, this was helpful. Glad to hear. Oh, Takamina. The art is so good. I freaking love Tax. Oh wait, we're 2 hours over. Oh, so I guess we have no more time. I didn't even notice it's been 2 hours. Okay, we'll do this quickly then. The arms do look just a little awkward from the angle that this character is standing at. The arm would have to be like popping out backwards to try and go around this arm. Elden Ring, who made this? I need to know. Tax! One of my 3 friends! One of my 3 friends! Will there be any more streams like this? Probably not, because I don't feel very helpful. Listen, I can make good art sometimes, but I really don't think I can help people, so I don't really know. But we are doing the Ethan one, because I am very good at Ethaning. So I will be doing that. For this, I would say either you gotta turn the body a little so the arm does not look so awkward. I didn't even see some of the problems you pointed out on mine. Maybe I was making them up. I don't know. What if I straight up lied to you on accident? I would never lie to you on purpose, but dude, you don't even know. Oh yeah, but I'd say probably twist the body a little more so that the arm is not as jutting out. Also, probably move the arm up a little more and have it bending here so that it looks not as awkward. Does that make crumb sense? Who cares? It probably does not. I do not even... Bro, just looking at this, what am I doing? Who am I to even give art critique on a drawing like this? Who even am I? Who do I think I am? Alright. We're gonna do an Ethaning. We are doing an Ethaning stream. I'm going to give so many Ethan's haircuts. Okay? Alright. Thank you everyone for coming. I will see you all tomorrow for Into the Pit. Dun dun dun. The FNAF game. I will see you all tomorrow. Hugs and kisses.